All right, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you, and welcome to another edition of Serving It Up with Jonathan on the Las Cruces Channel. I am so grateful to have with me a gentleman that I met, and I was looking for this thing right here. They say the pen is mightier than the sword. But I looked for this pen, and I looked, and I looked, and I could not find it, but I found this gentleman, and his name is Mr. Todd Packard. God bless you, Todd.
Nice to thank you for having me on the show.
Yes, sir. Mr. Todd Packard, you say you're 41 years old of age, huh?
Yes.
Copy that. Copy that. New Mexico student, correct?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and give you an opportunity. Can you tell me exactly who you are? Go ahead and tell me.
Ooh, like start from the beginning?
Yeah, start from the beginning.
Well, let's see. I graduated in 1993 from Oñate High School here in Las Cruces, and then I ended up moving to California kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I ended up trying to start going to school, and then I ended up joining the military, the National Guard, so I could have extra money for school.
All right.
And then I ended up doing that full time and working with them full time, as well as doing my one weekend a month. And then I did 2 tours overseas, one in Iraq and one in Afghanistan. And then once I was, I had enough of that, I decided I wanted to go to school for film and do what I wanted to do for a change. And so now I'm here, back here in Las Cruces, and going to NMSU for digital filmmaking. And hopefully my goal one day will be to become a director. Copy that.
Copy that. Okay, so tell me, us meeting like we met, I just kind of believe in divine appointments. And the pen wasn't there, but you needed to be there. There is something that I'm in search for, and that is that I become full, not only in ministry, but as a man, and as an explorer. So the natural aspect of me doing what I do, I needed to come across a gentleman such as yourself. So, tell me, what did you think of our encounter?
First I have to say, I just thought it was pretty interesting, because usually I'm not one to, I'll be nice and respectful when somebody talks to me, but I'm not usually just like open to just talking to anyone. And, we just started talking about pens, and then it turned into, I'm into film, you have your own television show, and I got interested so I was open to talking to you that day, and I thought that was actually pretty neat, and I think that you're a pretty interesting person. And, I think one aspect that I liked a lot was that, you talked about being a pastor and stuff, and you didn't come at me just straight, like, I need you to come to my church, and you got to be there. You just talked to me like a human being outside of being a pastor, and and it was an enjoyable conversation. And I think that's partly why I was a little more open to talking with you. Right.
And of course, approach is everything.
Yes.
I hope myself I'm tactful. But there's a thug in me. I'm from Detroit. 313.
Yeah.
Okay, so I come up different, and my era is no different than someone else's era. To me, it's just based on what I have to offer because of what was delivered to me, and how I want to collect that data, distribute that data, and distribute, and I guess be who I'm supposed to be. And sometimes that's hard for individuals to understand because of propaganda. There's a lot of systems and cycles out there that, as we've talked before, a lot of people just want you a part of a system, and that's it. They want you comfortable being like them. And for me, that was very hard for me to do, because I believe in individuality helps us in such a diverse world. So I want to get to some questions, man. I want to really focus on you. This is about me unwrapping you and handing you off to the public. Okay. All right? So let's go. So you're in film. So what's the toughest thing about digital film production?
You know, it's a good and bad thing. I think for me, I'm a little older, so you know, I didn't always just get into computers. So definitely, all the technology side of it is a little harder to just jump on. You know, I see some of these younger kids. It's like they've been doing it since they were in middle school or high school, and they just catch on real quick. So for me, I guess it would be the technology side of it.
Okay. Anything else, and any other aspects you want to add to that?
I mean, you always kind of, since I want to be a director, I mean, to an extent, you have to put yourself outside of a comfort zone because you never know what the topic that you're filming is. I guess that would be the addition to that. Okay,
so you mentioned comfort zone. So what do you consider outside of your comfort zone in this business?
You know, I was in the Army, so it's tough because a lot of things for me, you know, people could say anything from whatever bad words to sexual stuff. None of that stuff bothers me. And, I don't, it's tough to in today's time to kind of put this out there, but I don't know that I believe in the gay thing. So filming something with gay people is, and I don't want to say it wrong or offend anyone.
You can only be you, sir.
Yes, it's just like me, I believe in treating people like people. I don't care that you're gay. I'm going to treat you like a human being.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to be mean to you just because you have a different belief than me. So definitely I would think that if you're filming something maybe related to that, because I grew up in a certain way where it was okay to make fun of those people. I said, I feel like I'm saying it wrong.
No, that's okay. That's how we live today.
I don't want to say like those people. You know, they're people, but it just, you know, it's definitely different for me in that aspect. You know, like I'm going to treat them like human being, and so filming something like that is definitely, it's a little bit different. You know, and I'm trying to be more open to it because I grew up in a different generation where that was considered not good. Whereas, like I said, nowadays I look at like they're a human being and I want to treat them like a human being. They have their beliefs and that's okay.
So certainly, knowing that you could be picked up by any company and you sign your name on that dotted line, that you will fulfill the obligations, the duties, and here this comes, then what do?
I'm going to be open to it because I want to see everyone's side on it. I'm not saying that I'm right because I don't believe in that. You know, like I said, I believe in treating people like human beings. So, I'm going to be open to it. It might be a little difficult, but that's part of being outside of your comfort zone and learning about something new.
Okay, I definitely agree with that. I'll just leave it at that. I agree with that because of the professional level. And this is where society is, and when you enter into that said arena, there's almost anything you're bound to see, okay, here or etc. I'll leave it at that. So, how did you get started in this field?
I've always been into films as a kid.
Excuse me.
I remember doing I played with editing for a little while, around 2000 when technology was slowly starting to change. And then when I was overseas, at my second deployment in Afghanistan, I did one video, and some of the guys got into it. And we were really kind of making fun of this other person in the way that he was walking, kind of like he did this long stride thing like Bigfoot. And so we did this thing called like a Desert Yeti video. And I love putting it together, kind of like filming it, putting it together, and it was just fun. And from there, I was like, I think I found something that I really want to do. Right.
Copy that. Okay, so what would be the breaking point to determine? All right, what would be the breaking point to determine what will make you stop doing film or producing?
Probably personal things in your life, maybe with your family. Your family is more important than anything. And, I know we may fight about certain things, about what's more important. But definitely family in the end is the most important. So that would probably have to be the one thing that would really stop me from being part of that.
Okay. So let me ask you this: how important is social media for promoting your projects?
Well, definitely social media is a whole new world.
It's a beast,
yeah,
brother.
and you know, one respect, it can be free. You know,
Yes.
you can get things out there without having to pay millions of dollars to put commercials on television and with this newer generation of people wanting to look at things on the internet, it's definitely easy to go check something out on whatever media site you want to see it at, and like I said, it's free or a lot less expensive.
Okay. All right. So here's a good question: how do you determine if someone is truly worth collaborating with?
My biggest thing, and maybe it's just my personal thing, like I don't care what job you're in, you're always going to come across flakes, I like to call them, is because they say they want to help you. Oh my gosh, you're part of the film industry and they want to help you, but then the day of the shoot, they're like, oh, well, now it's work and they don't want to help. And now you got to readjust, and you were depending on that person. So,
Yes.
And now if you're really part of this industry, they don't put up with that. But when you're doing stuff for free and you're just trying to get something put together, you can't pay them, then those are the type of people that I have a hard time with.
Yeah.
Because if I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm usually going to be there, and I kind of expect the same out of someone else.
Well, me personally, you got to look at it from the aspect of the professional aspect of it, as well as the intimate aspect of it, as well as the commitment aspect of it, and the duty to me. Because when I look at those four groups, even in ministry, I come across that. I say, well, I've had this vision, and I get these people who say, oh my God, how did you come up with that? And I say, I didn't come up with anything. It came to me. It introduced itself to me and opened up the door and says, hey, I want you to come in here because this is what I want from you. Okay, so I look at that, and that's just totally awesome. Okay, and then knowing that you have what you're trying to do and accomplish and achieve, you got those, as you call them, flakes, that show up and just mess you all up. So, on an intimate level, I just want to ask one question. We've got to go to a break.
Okay.
Okay, copy that. So, as we talked, you may mention that you weren't really a churchgoer. Won't you explain why?
I don't, that's a tough question. I mean, maybe I've kind of more on the side of science, and, science doesn't have all the answers for anything.
Right.
But, whereas I was kind of taught that religion, I guess, was kind of more of a supernatural, things that go on when they talk about in the Bible are more of a supernatural thing. So it's harder to explain stuff like that. So I like things that can be explained.
Okay. Copy that. I understand your point, because we're human. And with the human and natural mind, of course, you got to rely on what you receive, the data that you can receive concerning flesh-wise. Okay, but we're going to come back to some more of those things, and we got to take that break. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. You've heard the first half, Mr. Todd. Blessings. We'll see you soon.
If you're looking for a new pet that you can cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are full of healthy, loyal, fun, loving pets, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, you can visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Burke, and I have a confession to make. I have a serious crush on my workout. Hip, fun, and always a challenge. Jazzercise is the total package. It's the only workout that I've ever truly loved, Does it show? That's because I'm in the best shape of my life. What a difference Jazzercise makes. When's the last time your workout swept you off your feet? Find a class near you at jazzercise.com.
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here. I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog.
Hey, don't touch that dial, because you're watching the only independent TV station here in Las Cruces, the Las Cruces Channel. Keep watching.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half of Serving It Up. And I have with me none other than Mr. Todd Packard. All right, God bless you. And listen, man, just to clarify, I felt in the first half when you kind of made your statement about gays, is there something else that you might want to add? I kind of feel like there's something else you might want to add to that.
I just, I don't want people to really judge me in a negative light. I don't have anything against gay people.
Yeah.
That it's just part of a generation that I grew up
Yes.
from, where it was okay to pick on people like that. And, I looked back at that and I realized that was not right. And,
Exactly.
And I just definitely want people to understand that, I don't have anything against gay people. And
Right.
I wasn't trying to make any statements.
Right.
Like, I would never shoot a film like that, or, it's just something that,
Yeah.
within me that I have to kind of deal with. And,
It's your morals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm right. One day I may realize, like, I was wrong for thinking that way. Like I said,
Yeah.
I just believe in treating people like human beings.
Yeah,
and
right.
that's what matters in the end, is that
Right.
we treat people like,
I understand you
treat people
clearly.
good.
I understood you the first half, but it kind of
Okay.
felt like that you were kind of uneasy about that, and you didn't want. I mean, because this is only a half an hour show, so
I just think in today's time, you do got to be careful what you say, because people are quick to judge you and off of one part of what you said, and they didn't hear the rest of what you said. So, yeah,
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, is it? Do I feel a little hint of agnostics or atheism?
I don't really know what I am, because it's not that I don't want to believe.
Yes.
Of course I would love, who doesn't want to believe that there's not a better place that you're going to go to
Exactly.
once you pass on, and that,
Yes.
that once you die, it's not the end. Like I said, for me, it's just more about, I don't have proof. I'm one of those ones I kind of need proof, and
Yes.
and science doesn't have all the answers,
Right.
and religion.
Well, the Big Bang doesn't have all the answers
yeah,
either.
yeah. So.
And of course, our scriptures have been tampered with.
And so you don't know exactly what to believe, and
Yeah.
and I definitely don't know enough about the Bible to really
Right.
make any judgments against it.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Would you agree that intelligently designed things call for intelligent designers for them?
Yes.
How? Explain.
That's a good question.
Yes, play with it.
Well, I guess if you want something to come across as intelligent, you're going to want somebody that knows what they're talking about, and to design it properly and try not to have any flaws in it.
Right. Well, working at NASA, I've come to find that there's different technicians for different qualifications. And just so let's say hypothetical, you're a bridge designer. But then you're going to need a plumber, because you're going to need water and snow and everything else to be expelled from this bridge. So if the bridge gets too heavy, guess what? The bridge could collapse, correct?
Yes.
So if the designer of this bridge tells everyone exactly how he sees and envisions this bridge, would it not behoove him to go and get a plumber, to go and get an electrician, to rope the lights, for at nighttime? Would it not behoove him to go get a striper so people won't be running across lines or whatever? I mean, so there's so much aspect that I believe when you're an intelligent individual, you have to do the research. And most people just take snapshot pictures like the earlier, they say, hey, I'm really not into this, and this would make me feel uncomfortable. So that's a snapshot picture, but you're able to successfully explain why you said what you said. So intelligent people really do research before they come back and rebuttal. And that's what I'm getting at. Mm-hmm. So for me to rebuttal the Bible based off of what someone believes or misunderstood or misteachings, because that happens, because the Bible states that there's no good thing in the flesh. And so I believe that people who are intelligent would see that just because it said that it was inspired by God, you have to also realize that man touched this Bible after it was inspired by God. So what are we actually getting? That's my point of asking that question. Mm-hmm. Did I make myself clear?
Very clear.
Do you understand that? What would you say in response to that?
Well, I mean, like what you said, everyone's an expert in something. So,
yes.
So you would definitely hire people who are gonna work out, you know, every kink in every aspect of your bridge is the example you used. For people that, I definitely agree that like people wrote the Bible, so you don't know to a point that with somebody, did they have an agenda why they wrote for the time, you know, however many, was it a few thousand years ago?
Yes.
For whatever reason they wrote it that way, there might have been a reason for it, and it might not have been God's real message.
Well, that's a speculation, but it's also an opportunity for you to become that mole, to dig where maybe possibly someone has forgotten to dig, to find what someone possibly is missing. You see what I'm saying? And I see us all as puzzles. That's one reason I really wanted you on this show, because you offer me a piece of a puzzle that I've never seen before. So you're shaped different. And so it's going to take maybe 6 more people with different shapes to join us together. Does that make sense?
It does.
So we got millions of pieces of individuals who don't know where they're going, what they're here for. Have you ever asked the question, why am I here besides digital film?
Here on Earth?
Yes.
I don't know. I guess I just, you know, I still kind of go back to that science, like, hey, there was dinosaurs, there, you know, just evolution of things, and, you know, never truly question, you know, like, I guess in my mind, like, I sometimes think, I don't know that there is a God, so, you know, I just feel like we're part of evolution, and like we live, we die, and that's it. And you know, and I'm not saying I'm not open to if something came along and proved to me.
Yes.
Not just somebody coming and telling me,
exactly,
oh, you got to believe what's in this book here, and and because when people do come up to me that way, I usually ask them, well, why? Why you're telling me certain things, but why? Exactly. And a lot of them can't give me a true answer, and it's like you got to believe just because you know, you got to have faith.
Well. Once again, you got to have wisdom, because you have to create the dialogue, correct? It's like a baby, a newborn baby. You don't understand its cry. You figure out what each cry means.
I guess there's a point of me, you know, if I really want to know, then I would have to, like you said, I do believe that you got to go do the research on your own and figure out what you believe out of there, if anything at all. And you know, that's probably one of the reasons why there's numerous religions off of the same Bible, because everybody has their own, they all interpret it differently. And so like you said, I got to figure out, if I really want to believe in this, then I would have to do the research on my own to figure out whether I believe in it or not.
Okay. Has there been a discussion that we've had that made you curious?
I'm going to say no, only because the things that we've talked about, I actually believed in your message because it was more about to me, being a good person.
Yeah.
I enjoyed listening to some of the things you're talking. It wasn't always about, God or anything, but
Right.
there might have been a message, and it was just, to me, it was about the message, about just being a better person.
Yeah, yeah.
So I haven't really questioned necessarily whether God is real or not.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm about relationship. Okay, I think I've expressed
told me
that to
that,
you.
yes.
So would you agree that nothing cannot produce something?
I guess you can't create something out of nothing. Yeah. So
So my next question is, we must understand that something created us. And I don't just believe that we just popped up from out of the Big Bang Theory. I don't believe that if there's still monkeys, why are we human beings and monkeys still exist? I believe if we evolved from monkeys, there should be no more monkeys. It should only be us.
I mean,
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I took an anthropology class, and she definitely, said, look, we got to keep religion out of this, and because we're learning about science, and science can't explain that. Now, one of the things is that the new theory is right now is that we all evolved from one thing, and they're trying to figure out what it is because they have to be able to. Like it says, win in the geological lottery, as I think they put it, because something has to preserve it in a certain way. But let's say apes or monkeys went one way and we went another, because there's more than one kind of monkey, so there's or more than one kind of primate, and we're still share a lot of similarities between them.
Well, that brings me to my last little statement. The Proverbs 14:12 says, "There is a way that seems right to a man, but in the end, therefore, are the ways of death." Now, I have to say that there are a lot of things that man has put his hands on, and those things have been great to an extent, but at some point it's like a shooken up soda. It fizzes out. All right, and I'm going to leave off on that point, but I'm going to welcome you back to the show if you would grace us one more or two more times, and we can get some more dialogue. Is that all right with you?
I would love to come back to the show.
Man, I appreciate you so much for coming on down.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. God bless you, and I hope that this opportunity to sit down with Mr. Todd Packard was a blessing as it was for me. God bless you, and we'll see you on the next time on Serving It Up.